You know, you're always going to be called WAFB's George Sells. You are never going to escape that after a quarter century visiting people every night.
Well, nor do I want to be. It's been great. George Sells, Air Force serial number 25757315. Broadcast anchor guy, drifter across the country, also a reporter, former correspondent for ABC News for 5 years, native of Kingsport, Tennessee, Grand Ole Opry in Nashville. The war started getting mean in 1965, 66. I went to Philly. I got shot at in Philadelphia several times. The war was getting more and more angry. Then began civil rights riots. Then came William Calley, the lieutenant who was alleged to have killed scores, if not hundreds, of Vietnamese civilians. Had our first child in Philly, then I went to New York. I was at ABC News. Idi Amin was a dictator in Africa. Boy, did I rip him a new backside.
Yet those men weren't more seriously hurt.
I also have something that the bosses always called, well, here they call it Channel 9 luck, and that was George Sells' luck. An 11-story nursing home was on fire in South Philly. And we had one photographer with a small hand-mounted film camera, but it wasn't getting the drama. Just as soon as I pulled up with a guy with a sound camera, the building collapses. That sort of thing just happens to me a lot.
Yet you're still only running a couple of percentage points ahead of Mr. Schweiker. Does this bother you at all at this early stage?
The grisly murder story.
Describe myself as a young journalist, dangerous. Sometimes showmanship can get you killed. Philadelphia School Board. For some reason, the security guy at the school board didn't want me to come close to the school board meeting. And so he comes out, big, burly, former Philadelphia policeman, and does not want my crew to go into the school board. Well, it's a public meeting for heaven's sakes. So we have words. This guy picks up a sawhorse that was used to block traffic and throws the thing at me. Then he starts breaking the thing apart and he tears a piece of it out. And he's coming after me with part of this sawhorse. So I run down the street and get behind a telephone pole so he can't hit me with it. I go down into a sort of a defensive ends stance and come at him pretty fast and knock him on his butt. And I take the stick away from him and I gallantly throw the stick into the bushes so he can't get back at it. Do I miss it right now? Not really. That worries me a little bit. Chasing it, I don't miss that at all, because I always had this feeling it was my fault if we didn't get the story quickly and right. And we got some young Turks in there that are much better than I am at doing this sort of thing. Well, I've learned to let go a little bit, and I have not been driven to get all that interested in local news. But this is only 2 months. Yeah, it'll come back. I just gotta know. I thank you. Don't forget me, because I will never, ever forget you. Good night.